Well, players are ready. Good look and have fun, y'all. Let's count down for game number 1. To a hole in his stack. He wants a bar. Neither player getting a bar. Very, very dry post. Docketu's not going to be able to get anything to that left side. He's done. Again. But he's going to misdrop the L, and that's it. Docketu's going to top out at 451. There's a bar, there's a Tetris, only a couple more lines, and there we go. With a 982, he's pretty high. He's getting droughted. Bar does come, but that left side might be blocked off. Can he get anything over there? No, he cannot. Akatu's going to top out at 1018, and Knight is good for game number 3 and the set. GG's. No, that's not true. Knight's ready. Both players are ready now. Let's count them down for good. So for game number 1, good luck and have fun, y'all. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We got a Z. We got an L. This is the classic Tetris League, and I am Arbaro. Got ourselves a second match of our 4-match show. You just saw Knight, you're going to see her again. Or you're seeing her again right now. Let's introduce her, and also the other player. On the left side of your screen, out of Canada, with an NTSC PB of 2.52 million, number 15 in the Premier poll for May 2025. She is Knight. And on the right side, out of the United States of America, a roller with an NTSC PB of 2.13 million. He's Gwafey. Gwafey currently 1 on the board. Knight has 4, I believe. No, 3. 4 now. 20 lines in, so Knight with a little bit of a lead here early on. I hope you're all having a great Sunday. Tea for dinner and Violet referencing something that I haven't seen or don't understand. Knight up a little high, but she's going to reopen her well just in time for the bar to come. 142 to 80. Rolling does rhyme with polling. That is a thing you have to worry about when you're rolling. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here. You gotta join in either, but you gotta join in on the bits. Yeah, sometimes it takes me a while to realize that there's a bit. Sometimes it's just, you know. Sometimes it's Sunday morning, and Sunday morning extends to 4 p.m. Just want to make sure you know this. It is, on Sundays, it is still morning after 4 p.m. 227 for Knight, 164 for Gwafey. Gwafey does have a few lines in pocket. Going to reopen as well. Does have a hole in his stack, so that bar is only going to be good for a triple, but went off the bottom more or less clean now. It's always morning somewhere. It's like, oh, it's almost 5 o'clock. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere for people who are really into coffee or tea. I could drink something caffeinated at 9 p.m. It's a morning somewhere. These players have faced each other twice before. Knight has won both of them, but they are both pretty close. They're both this year. Knight beat Gwafey 3-1 last season in CTL. And I'd also beat Gwafey in a decider during Mega Masters this year, so last month. We're probably going to see if he can get revenge here. Keep the series, all-time series between the two, a little bit close. So that's what I'm sure, like, whenever Knight plays Gwafey, that's what both these players are really, really thinking about. Their all-time history between the two. Knight currently with a pretty big lead, almost 6 figures. 411 to 313, but Gwafey does have almost 10 lines in pocket, depending on when you look at it. We're now 100 lines in on Knight's side. She's looking pretty good, looking pretty clean. Does have a elo dependency, so holding out for that. Ends up having to take a few burns as a result. Ends up blocking her well. For the sake of safety, bar finally comes. Now her board is all squared off. Drought Ticker keeps ticking on and then not really going very far, but those little droughts accumulating can kind of add up to be a bit of a pain. Doesn't seem to be phasing Knight very much though. She's up to 529. Still has room for a few more before 19. Oof. A bit of a misdrop. Nice double though. Very nice flat double, and that's going to keep her board manageable. This is a real drought now. Knight will go in with a 582. Gwafey now experiencing that same drought. Managing it well. Nice little adjustment for the J. Ooh, well, a little bit of a early shift for that J, but the bars will come and it's not going to matter. He goes in with a 509, so Knight holding on to a pretty big lead real time. Still a level of lines ahead, but up by 4, almost 5 Tetrises. 641 to 517. Smooth sailing for Knight right now. Gwafey, a little bit of a lopsided board, will result in a few burns. Pretty big match. We'll talk about the consequences on 18 next game. I gotta save some stuff for 18, you know? You gotta space it out a bit, you know? So right now on 19, both players can play 19 pretty adeptly, but you know, more stuff can happen on 19 than 18. Stuff can still happen on 18, but the quantity of stuff, like this is... Right now, Knight was up a little high. You know, definitely more dangerous on 19 than 18. She got out of it regardless, though, because she is a very good Tetris player. 876 for Knight. 720 for Gwafey after that latest Tetris. Knight up to level 25 now. She's 5 Tetrises ahead, but she is over a level of lines ahead. Not really giving Gwafey that many opportunities to make up the deficit, though. In fact, she's just expanding it. Well, she's into level 26, so last stages, or kind of tail end of the level 19 speeds here. And she'll get another Tetris. That'll bring her into max out territory. 10-13 for her, 8-21 for Gwafey. Gwafey back at level 25. Knight level 27. It's kind of been, I think, the story of Knight so far against Akatu. Now against Gwafey. Knight, don't think like she's cleaner more often than her opponent. She goes into 29 with an 1154. But she's making it count. She's playing efficiently. Right now, she's playing somewhat aggressively. She's going to get a couple of cleans. She's going to hang the bar. That's it. It's going to top out at 1173. Gwafey, you are in a chase down. You need 1174 to take it. 1174. It's going to be quite a bit of 29 play, but might be... If you can go the distance with it. Yes, he goes in with a 1007. So this is 6-figure chase down. Might need a couple Tetrises at least. Set up for one off the bottom. Right now, board creeping up, still survivable. Playing well. There we go. Nice little dig there for Gwafey, simmering his stack down. There we go. 1050 now, needs 1174. Jacob, ready with a party at 2. Welcome in. Just in time for the beginning of match number 1. This is match number 2. This is game number 1. As Gwafey gets a triple, trying to complete a chase down. 29 here. Needs 96,000 points. I think he might need a couple of Tetrises because he hasn't really scored yet. Playing it safe, as he very well should. But his board is creeping up. Nice, 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 nice. There we go. Gets himself clean. 66,000 points remaining in the chase down. Oh, his left side blocked off. Lombard Tetris, though. That's gonna... If he can keep himself clean, he should be able to single and double from here. Only 7,000 more to go. And there it is. Gwafey will take game number 1. After a long, long 29 chase down. GG's. He got the 1 Tetris he needed. And I'll get him the game. And a big point. One Tetris. Bar to J to start things off. A very good chase down for Gwafey the last game. Train is a fickle beast. Comparable to Das 19 in a lot of ways. You know, one misdrop can cost you dearly. Knight was showing herself last set though, so she is very dangerous. Kind of known for being dangerous on 29. Well, there's 2 on the board here early on. Knights. So both players trying kind of the bottom of the division, which is crazy to me. I'm trying to avoid that relegation spot. There's a lot of relegation and a playoff relegation spot in this division. And it is a bloodbath because this is definitely a much higher standard of play at the bottom than we've seen in previous seasons. Knight's in a little bit of trouble here. She's gonna get out of it. Lombard Tetris gets the stack down. Still a little bit of an iffy left side. And now Gwafey also trying to get out of this. Gwafey needs a bar. Gonna reopen that oil. He's set up dirty. He's gonna get it. Gazillion lines off the bottom. Still not out of the woods, but that double is going to help tremendously. 134 to 173. Knight trying to take advantage here. Does score a Tetris. There's Gwafey right back in. Lion's Nest. Is he going to get anything to the left side? He does, but it's not going to matter. Gwafey going to top out early at 136. Knight is good for game number 2. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. A couple S's. We'll begin game number 3. Both players 1 game apiece. A very, very important set here. Knight currently at 1-4 in the season. It's 10 points after sweeping Akatsu just a moment ago. If she wins this set, she will be safe from at least the auto relegation spot. We should be up to Simon Tetris, 15 points. Gwafey would have loved to get this set as well. He's sitting at 4 points, 0-5 on the season. He did have to survive an auto relegation, sorry, a playoff relegation battle last season. Ended up winning against Duji 4-2. Duji also a very difficult opponent. The champion of Poland, champion of Europe, CTEC. So stiff competition coming up from Div 2. A lot of our Tetris for Knight, a little bit dirty there. So he's trying to get out of this. We got ourselves a tie ball game here. Players are trading the lead, 169 to 164, 36 lines in. Still pretty early. Knight did make the championship playoffs last season after finishing 4th in her division, went 5-2. Kind of hard to fault her for any of her wins this season. Became in the hands of Alex T, Dengler, Meme, and Portal. Alex T, Dengler, and Meme, of course, all top 10 players. Dengler has been phenomenal lately. I believe he beat Alex T, Fractal, and who was the other one? Neko all on the same day this weekend. It was, or maybe on Friday. It was a good day in the office. So a little bit of lead here for Gwafey. Not quite able to stay clean. Nothing really dangerous. She's going to reopen her well. Gwafey also up a little high. Both players weathering this drought. Fairly extended drought. But they will both survive and score, keep themselves clean. So very, very good RNG handling there. 325 for Knight, 335 for Gwafey. Still very close, as we're over halfway to 19 now. Scooty, thank you. Oh yeah, Scooty, that was huge. Hard to like forget that he beat Scooty. Scooty's been knocked out of this. It's weird that Scooty like left the Scooty leaving the tournament before like the semifinals is just very, very, it's weird. It's weird not seeing Scooty in there. But you know, Dengler really just turning it on, kind of showing that how much kind of the pre 29 play, especially 18 play, how relevant that still is. Because he played well on 29, but like, you know, a lot of the time his opponent was catching up to him. They could not bridge the gap. 444 to 435, neither player able to gain an advantage. We're over 100 lines in. Maybe the crack of the armor, yeah, the crack of the armor showing, and then it's interesting because like it feels like a lot of the time when it comes to Tetris, like a player looks invincible until like all of a sudden they don't. And I think really when it comes to Scooty, it's not so much like a decline in play, it's just everyone else is catching up. There is a little bit like he's not like, you know, he's not getting like a 1.7 every game anymore, but still. 471, make that 494 for Knight, 506 for Gwafey. So a little bit of a lead from Gwafey, but it is still very close. Gwafey gets that bar 2 columns over for the adjustment. The player's 500k, so looking for a pretty sizable transition here. Knight goes in with a 566. Gwafey 576, so room for one more line. Got a Tetris in with a 600,000. Now we're off and running at post. Knight gets a T for a tuck and gets a bar to resolve the resulting dependency. To resolve and resolve. Oh, a couple really gnarly misshifts, or I don't know if they're misshifts or not, but placements for Knight. So she's in a dig. There's a couple of nice pieces, nice placements too. Ooh, got a little bit bailed with that bar. It's another one to resolve a dependency. She is keeping herself alive, so very, very clutch play here from Knight. There we go. She's going to keep herself alive here. Lombard Tetris, clean. Not even too far back. Gwafey does have a few lines in pocket. 698 to 666. Gwafey now set up column 8, waiting on the bar. Knight just, just keep on keeping on like nothing ever happened. Just have to get a few pieces for a tuck. Misrotates the J. Gets a Lombard, gets a Tetris. We'll have to resolve that left side, so a few more burns, but again, not as bad as it could have been. Gwafey 759. Gets another Tetris 788. So does have a points lead. Knight trying to get out another little slowdown. Left side not looking great, so oh my goodness. She can get out of this, but does not want to be living this far up. We're kind of stuck. Gwafey developing a bit of a lead, but so 6-figure lead here. 888 to 758. Right now, Knight just looking to stay alive here. She is getting the stack down a little bit. Gets another couple bars. That's nice. She's up to level 27, so keeping her eye on the clock in terms of line count. Nice double with that T. There we go. It's getting simmered down. She's now behind by quite a bit. The L doesn't do what she wanted it to. She's kind of high. Only 6 more lines available to her. 5 more lines. Gwafey has maxed out. 1006. Knight at 786. Doesn't get the bar over. That's it. Now we'll top out at 786. Gwafey is good for game number 3. GG's. Yeah, very frustrating. Kind of just Gwafey. Sorry, Knight couldn't quite. A little bit of a misrotation, misdrops. Gwafey's going to mull this out. Doesn't quite get the bar over. And that's going to be good enough for the game. GG's. Game number 4. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And they're off. Square and a Z. They have the same RNG. Gwafey currently on match point. Now looking to extend the set and force a decider. There's an early top off for Gwafey, but for the most part, these games have gone pretty deep. I got the 1.3 in game number 1. Gwafey got a 1.1, I believe. Maybe a 1.2 in game number 2. Stay tuned after this. We will have Gwafey play against Akatu to kind of complete the 3-way here. That will be Gwafey's last game of the season, or last set of the season, so we will have a much clearer picture of where everyone stands. A little bit of a awkward situation for Knight, and she needs something to the left side. Doesn't try for the T. That T will go though. Still a lot of trouble keeping herself alive. Oh my goodness. What a dig from Knight. How did she get out of that? My goodness. Crazy stuff. Still very high, but she's clean. She's not even that far behind because a lot of it's due to a drought. Lombard Tetris. Oh my god. 165 to 120. Knight has the lead. Despite of that really, really, really good dig. Gwafey just kind of keeping on. Kind of the thing about that sort of situation is you need bars in order to take advantage. Gwafey didn't really get any. No, it's also, the fact that there weren't any bars is a big part of why Knight had to work so hard to survive, so it could be a bit of a two-edged sword. $304 for Knight. Lombard Tetris goes up to 327. Gwafey at 348. Make that 248, make that 271. So Knight currently a 55,000 point lead. Even with the almost equal line count. Knight has been mostly ahead in lines for the entire set. Tends to play a bit higher, a bit more aggressive. A bit of a misdraw for her, but it's the S for the spin, nails it. It's only one hole in her stack. That's a Tetris. One thing I've noticed is a lot of players, when they can, they will take an extra few burns to burn out a hole rather than playing on top of it. I think Knight was trying to do that. Pieces didn't quite come, so now she's set up. Column 9, one off the bottom. Gwafey looking okay. Left side was blocked off a bit, but ends up rolling that bar over. No problem. Another pretty long drought, decently long drought. And Gwafey gonna block off his dirty setup right before the bar comes. Lombard Tetris has a few holes in his stack. Flying a bit further behind. Knight's at 481. Gwafey's at 408. I will go into 19 with a 505. It's a 500k mark. Another Tetris. Gwafey a little gonna have to burn in at 413, so droughts are taking their toll a bit. Nice setup, 2 off the bottom, gonna get it. Opens her well again, so now she's clean. There's a Tetris for Gwafey, 441 to 557, so good size lead here for Knight. And Gwafey not really entering any extended digs. It's kind of been the story. Like, he has had to do some cleanup here and there. But Knight, when she is clean, she's efficient. She is in a little bit of a slowdown here. Oh, sets up the bar to Bennett and gets the bar. Still looking to get out of this. Gwafey looking pretty good, trying to shave off some of the lead. Hello, Hazel. Good to see you. 655 for Knight. 533 for Gwafey. Thought I came with Galwa picks. That's a good idea. We should talk to King about that. Draw ticker was ticking, but not for very long. Knight still a level ahead. 717 to 594. Now if he wants some things for the middle of his stack, overshifts the Z. Lombard triple, so this could be a bit of a slowdown for him. Not really anything he wants right now. His Knight is kind of rolling here. Both literally and figuratively. 780 to 613. Had some people over for board games last night. Ooh, Lombard dependency for Knight gets it. Still needs something to the left side. I'm going to get it immediately. And the board squared off and high, but clean. Looking for a bar. There it is. Lombard Tetris 822 for Knight. Still holding on to a pretty big lead here. 178,000 points. Guys, we're into level 26. Akatsu says, Gwafey, please win. I need to sleep. Knight trying to... So this is all part of Knight's diabolical plan, because if Knight loses this one, she will want Gwafey to win the next one. And the longer she can delay it, the more tired Akatsu will be. 965 for Knight, 783 for Gwafey. Of course, she will be looking to just win it out, right? One line away, trying to set up here. Lombard Tetris, column 6. She's in with the 1003, gets the max out. 821 for Gwafey, still 7 more lines before he transitions. Yeah. You wake up pretty early. I guess it's like Monday tomorrow. Probably have work or something. 1026. Or school? I don't know. 866 is the transition score for Gwafey. Knight is set up. Oh, doesn't get that L over. Gets the bar, but that's it. She's going to top out at 1032. Gwafey, you were in a chase down. You need 1033 to take it. 1033. Or Alpha 313. Oh, but Gwafey is in trouble. Can Gwafey get anything to the left side? He cannot, and that's it. Gwafey's going to top out at 891, and Knight's good for game number 4. We're going into a decider. Sorry, Akatsu. GG's. We got it ready from Gwafey. Let's count down for game number 5. Good luck and have fun, y'all. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Akatsu saying, can either of you please early top? Got to play a whole set after this. So, sorry, yeah. Get those... I was thinking those caffeine pills, but I don't know if you actually want to do that. You want to sleep. Kingsman, welcome in. Kingsman, over here, watching a lot of Tetris. He's like in chat a lot. Thank you for your continued support of the Classic Tetris League by running it. I think that's a very good way of supporting it, running it. Another way of supporting the Classic Tetris League is by giving money to the Matcherino. That will go to the players who do really well at the CTL. I believe the top 4 players in the playoffs get paid out. We're halfway to our goal. We like getting $1,000 every season. Let's go ahead and click that little link there if you have a dime or two to spare. Help the players out. Keep them playing Tetris. Bigger prize pool means we have more incentive. Players have more incentive to join CTL. A lot more high-powered players, and that attracts everyone else. I know multiple players have kind of kept themselves in the scene because there's a little bit of compensation involved. Oh, your money goes a long way to helping keep the scene going the way it is. Players are pretty evenly matched here so far. 163 to 163, only a line being the difference. The Gwafey will have to do a bit of cleanup here. Kingsman, number 1 supporter for real. No kidding. No one supports the Classic Tetris League like Kingsman. Do we need to win against Gwafey to not get relegated? It's going to depend on the outcome of this match. But I think the answer is yes. Let me double check. Okay, so yeah, so Akatu would be at 5 points. Gwafey's shaking his head here, trying to get out of this. Knight has opened up a bit of a lead, 55 lines in, so approaching the halfway point. 260 to 204. I tend to report after the set ends, so maybe I should do it now to help do the math. Knight's currently sitting at 10 points. Actually, 12 points, could go up to 15. Akatu's at 5, so Akatu would need... So the thing is, Akatu, you also have to play Portal, so that... Well, yeah, I don't... Yeah. Okay, I'll report it after this so we can talk about it. Because it is going to depend a lot on the outcome of this match. I also wanted to try to get this done quickly, so... The win should avoid the auto relegation if Gwafey loses. Yeah. So this would be Gwafey's last set, right? So if Gwafey loses this, he'd be up to 6. And then if you win against him, you would avoid the auto relegation spot. And then the rest of your season versus with you and Knight would determine the playoff relegation. Portal also not completely out of the woods when it comes to the playoff relegation. 470 to 394. Let's focus on this match, though. Not up by a few. Gwafey gets a little tuck, trying to get clean here, not really getting the best pieces for it. Knight, on the other hand, having a great game. 538. Still 21 more lines before the transition. Gwafey, a little bit of a slowdown again. Knight's been on fire this game. Alright, Tetris goes up 600,000. Still room for 2 more before the transition. I'm just saying, okay, so go Knight. This is a big game for Gwafey. He's going to go with a 502. Knight goes out with a 656, so up by 150,000 points. Up by a C note and a half. Trying to come up with more clever ways of saying 100,000 points. Knight needs to get out of this, gets a bar over. Another bar will make her stack jagged, but opens up the well, which she needed because the bar came right at that moment. There's another Tetris. 713 for her, 564 for Gwafey. All right. Looking to get out of this dig pretty quickly. Has her well open. And gets a nice triple. A couple of mischiefs from Gwafey. Her left side not looking great. He will get a Tetris. That's low enough to get that bar over for not too much of an issue. Now you set up one off the bottom. Knight might do the same. Say that 10 times fast. Knight still holding on to a pretty big lead. A little bit was shaved off of it, but not too much. Lombard Tetris. So 6 figures. Both players now into level 23. Knight nails the S-spin, Lombard Tetris. So she's just kind of back to straight ahead banging them out. Knight is a fun player to watch. A lot of it does depend on kind of, 29 play and just their ability to stay clean and stay efficient. But when she is efficient, she is on point. Gwafey, keep yourself in this. Just close the gap a bit. 800 to 876, though. Gwafey currently not clean. Knight set up, left well. Ends up not holding out for it. Had a bar dependency on the right side, so ends up just burning everything down. Gwafey now set up, one off the bottom. Well, bar's not really coming for him either. If there are bars, they're just not coming at the right time for either player. Level 27 for both players now. Knight does score, 925 for her. Gwafey fires back, 847. Hawkins just says, farming Elo and Div 2 doesn't sound too bad either. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, where like I was mentioning earlier, like, I feel like a lot of Div 1 is just kind of like, there's like a player or two at the bottom who not really the same caliber. That's just not the case for this division. These are all Div 1 players, and whoever gets down just doesn't, I don't think really, quote unquote, deserves it. This is a tough division. 969 for Knight, 893 for Gwafey, Lombard Tetris, 929. He's into level 29 now. Cuts his stack down. We've seen some very good 29 play from both players. Knight goes up in at 1017, so up by 2 Tetrises. The difference is not nearly as big as it was. Knight still holding on to a lead. Nice. Peeking pieces to the left. Lombard Tetris for Gwafey, and now just over a Tetris lead for Knight. She's set up, just takes the triple. Not quite set up. As Gwafey gets clean. Knight holding on to a slim lead. Gwafey in trouble. Gwafey gets a Lombard, gets a Tetris, but is that going to be enough? Knight also digging, but much lower. Gwafey staying alive. Gwafey needs something to the left side. S doesn't go. That's it. Gwafey going to top out at 1046. Knight is good for game number 5 and the set. And that's two big wins for Knight. I think that makes her safe. I'll double check that though. Lombard Tetris for Knight. She's going to play this out. I'm going to take a bit of a victory lap. So Knight survives a scare there. Gets 2 huge wins. One of them went a little easier than the other one, but still. 1.2 might be able to get out of this. We know she can get out of some situations on 29. Not quite, but that's fine. She's taking it.
Well, actually, instead of high YouTubes, it would be more high Peek. Say hello to Peek, who probably is gonna be editing this, and we'll greatly appreciate being said hello to. I mean, granted, no one will be able to see you, but I will pass on that information. Snowy says hi, Peek. Pseudo says hi as in high in the sky, Peak as in mountain peak.